Welcome to We Three Kings.
Welcome to We Three Kings.
Welcome to We Three Kings.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of We Three Kings. It's been a minute. It is now into the month of March, and we're starting to get into the major cycle here. Boggs, Laz, and Pineapple Phillips. Lads, it's been a while, but that means there's a lot to talk about. A lot has happened, and we're almost to the end of the ECL season, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I don't even know how we're here. I really don't. Like, it's already March. Like, I don't know. Like, you blink of an eye. We talked, in the beginning of the year, and then, boom, we're in March. So, it's good to see you boys, though. It's always nice to see you guys.
It's nice to be here. It was the beginning of January. I was gonna ask that. You already stole that.
Got him, dude.
It was January 12th, something like that. It was obviously our preseason predictions. I have no doubt that I was hot on Detonate. Glad that's paying off.
Yeah, you were.
Later, but
oh, great.
Trust me, it's just been long enough, man. It's coming. It's coming. You know it is. It's the orange wave. Is it orange? We'll say that the orange wave. We'll go with that. Either way, it is good to be back.
It is great to be back, and why don't we start things off where we left off, talking about ECL. Give it a bit of a recap here. Nate, you were hot on Detonate. Those are your boys. That's your team. You're full on Detonate. You're on the Detonate explosion. And I think that they've been doing okay. I just gotta say, I think they're doing all right here looking at the group.
Yeah, on a surface level, they're doing okay. Now, we talk about their win versus ATK. Sure, kind of a big deal, but that was the weak ATK. That was the ATK with Pluto, which I think is a whole discussion we're going to have later on. Kind of Correct. What happened there, that 16-day fever dream that was Pluto on the roster. So, take that win with a grain of salt. The other wins, honestly, and performances, even losses, are respectable. Villainous, of course, expected. Disconnected, expected. They're playing right now. I'll give away when we're filming this podcast. They're playing Limitless right now, which is another exciting one, honestly, in my opinion. And then the Pain and Team 1 ones, pretty close across the board. From what I could tell, when I talked to the players after the fact, they were kind of upset with themselves because they felt it could be a 2-0 in both. They felt like, I think Pain, map 2 was 12-16, and Freshie said there was 4 rounds where they felt like they threw. So, it sounds like they're very confident, and they feel like they could be taking down these, Pain's number 31 in the world, taking down these very big teams.
Yeah, they're somewhere up there.
I'm pretty sure they're 31. I think I wrote it down in my notes for the last coverage I did.
Yep, 31.
Yep, I'm right. So yeah, they feel like they're okay, or they're confident in taking down this big game, and they're just not quite able to convert it. So again, I'm still riding the high on this one. I still think Detonator are only going to improve.
Yeah, I think so. I don't really say this very often, but I'll give it to you, Nate. You were right. I mean, Detonate, they had some good pickups. They've been able to claw their way back, and now they're doing pretty good. They're sitting, I think, just going to take a quick look. Yeah, 3-2. Yeah. Whatever. But either way, they're doing pretty good for ECL. They've had some pretty good matches, really close games, even though Pain, they didn't go their way. Still, I mean, really, really impressive to see, because I've been talking about it all season, Pain to me is the team to beat. This is the team that, in my opinion, should win this whole thing, pretty convincingly. But the fact that Detonate took it to a 3-mapper, I like it.
Yeah, Pain, I mean, I got to say, MIBR have really impressed me this season, too. Got to see a lot of them. They're already done. They're actually playing in Pro League currently. So, or they already played in Pro League, I should say. They didn't have the best of times, but they had a better time than a certain other team we will be discussing in a little bit. A certain local hero, shall we say. And, well, MIPR with Insani are absolutely nuts. Insani has more than filled the shoes of Jota, and he's been a pleasure to watch destroy in the server over in Group A. Yeah, Pain, of course, we're going to expect them to be very, very good. Detonate, they were kind of on the bubble in terms of my own personal power ranking coming to the season. That addition of Slight has taken this team to the next level, and that was the big question, was could they find an opper that could elevate them to the next level, because that seemed to be the piece they were missing. They certainly found him in Slight, who was hitting form we haven't seen since Strife went over to Europe, which was a while ago now. So it's been really good to see Slight come into his own again, start to really frag out. Also, Mix is helping coaching the team on Detonate, so they have a lot of structure. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from them. Qualifying for the RMR as well is no small feat, because there's some big name teams that didn't qualify for the RMR. But overall, the way the group is being played out, I think the top three, Pain, ATK Team 1, kind of what we all expected in Group B. It was more of a battle for that 4th spot. And Nate, a team that you were very, very high on, that you were hyping up to the extreme coming into this season, might actually dissolve given what happened tonight in their matchup. Timberman, they forfeited while down 13-2 to Vendetta. There were team kill antics, a lot of stuff, and it seems like that team might finally be eating itself.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it on the broadcast and stuff. Timberman have hit that point where they've been playing, what is it, 3 or 4 seasons together now?
It's been a season of ECL, I want to say, and at least 4 or 5 in a row going back to Open.
Yeah, so it's been a long time that they've been together, and at first I applauded them for that because we don't see enough of it in North America. You know, teams form and dissolve within half a season. It's kind of a bad thing. But at this point, we're at the other end of the extreme, and it feels like it's because of these players' histories that they've got nobody else to go to. They've got nobody else to fill in, nobody else to fill the shoes. And so they have some decent pieces, but I feel like they've hit a hard ceiling, and they aren't developing any more ideas, and they're kind of getting frustrated. And I do feel like they're kind of going to have to dissolve. I feel like at this point, they should fall back to their pieces, let somebody pick up the different players, hope that something sticks, because I think at this point, this team has run its course. And then, of course, disconnected the other elephant in the room, you know, dissolved. What was it? One of the players qualified for the RMR with a year.
Yep.
And so they could not find a 5th, or they didn't want to find a 5th. They said, all right, we're out. See ya.
That was such a cringe tweet, too. Like, no offense to... I'm not going to leave him nameless, but, like, I know who tweeted it. But, man, it was just, like... It was just such a weird tweet. It's like, yeah, he blamed him for, like, qualifying. It's like, why would you blame him? Like, it's not his fault. Like, he got an opportunity, he took it. So...
It's very passive-aggressive. Yeah.
It was very passive-aggressive.
Wait, you're not playing the qualifier? I'm going to go play with some friends. Hey, we made it. Bye.
Yeah, it feels NA, man. It really does feel NA, man.
And one of them hadn't even played in like a year.
Yeah, that's the best part. Like that is like, we'll get to that topic, but man, that is just insane to put it like in its own perspective. But just quickly talking about your Timberman piece, like, yeah, I agree. Like, clearly something's not working. I did give a lot of kudos, like you did, for a team that's able to, you know, stick it out. They've been able to be in ECL, I think, for about 3 seasons. They were in advance at one point. They like swept Open when they first started. So for this team, I mean, it's sad to see if they're not really coordinating really well, but this is the highest level, right? This is kind of the highest level for us in this region in terms of the online play and stuff like that. So if it's not working, they got to reconfigure some stuff and figure out the right recipe here.
Yeah, they're not in Junior B anymore, but they're
in Junior B.
They're in the minor leagues. They're AAA, to go for the baseball analogy. They're right below the top echelon. And they really haven't had enough of an improvement to justify sticking around without making a change. I'm curious as to whether or not the team is going to completely dissolve, whether or not they're just going to remove a player or two, try and keep the roster spot. There's a lot of questions surrounding what will happen with Timberman after the antics tonight, and I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on. That could also affect Limitless if Timberman dissolves, and that win Timberman has over Limitless would get overturned, and Limitless would go to a 2-2 team instead of a 1-3 team, which I think would be really good for their own personal chances at maybe just a little bit of something. But I think they already lost to team. Oh, no, they have not played Team 1 yet.
Not yet.
So there is a chance they could overtake Team 1 if that happened. Very unlikely, though. Team 1 looking very good as of late. Looking over at Group A, though, MIBR 6-1. They forfeited their last game of the season against Mythic because they knew that they were fine and that they were going to make it into the playoffs as the first seed anyways out of their group. So that's why Mythic has 3 wins here. Other win coming against Noxious and Davenport, a team which I had high hopes for coming into the season after the additions of Austin and Dane, but they have not looked that inspiring. Only with 1 win. Noxious also 0-6, just brutal schedule right there. Not winning a single map throughout the season. Just
I think they won. Did they not win a single map?
No. Look at that.
Sure.
Look at that, Nate.
Oh,
take a gander. But yeah, like that's though, and I agree with you. And like even back to Davenport, like this was a team that their only win was against Vendetta, which was exciting. We were talking a lot about Vendetta. We're like, hey, this is actually a pretty good team, an up and coming team. They're doing some damage, but it's been just full losses ahead here for the Davenport camp, and it's been just sad to see. And this is what I was, critiquing, as I said, more than one win, and you've blown my expectations, but it's not looking like that might be in the deck of cards yet. But still some matches that can happen, but and they got to figure it out quick.
Yeah, they got Strife and who else? Nouns. That's not easy.
No, these are not even easy teams that they have to play against. So this is even worse case for them too. So it's like they have a huge chance they might go 1-5.
They got the free win against Noxious. Or wait,
Easy.
no. Wait, Noxious still has to play Davenport.
Oh, they get 2.
Could do it. It could happen.
Yeah.
It could. Who else did they beat again? They beat Vendetta. Yeah, you mentioned Vendetta. You're right.
That was a weird game. I was watching that one. Vendetta had played against EG Black earlier in the day and beat them, and then had to play Davenport right after and looked kind of just out of gas.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Also, Vendetta, talking about Vendetta, I know Boggs coming into this season, we mentioned it in January, he was very hot on them. Of course, things changed there. Things changed.
Yes.
Players got sniped. That's a whole fiasco again we're going to cover, unfortunately. That's later on in the show for sure, but Vendetta's still doing okay, still performing above what I would have thought, considering the star that they lost in Pluto, so not the strongest, definitely not the weakest, though.
Oh. Definitely a playoff team if they can keep this up, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I
They're
think
pushing for the top 2, though, for sure. You're saying they're above EG Black, and so now they're kind of stuck behind them.
Hey, EG Black made a really good move and got the best opera at this level of Counter-Strike.
they did.
That's fair. That's
And
fair.
I
They
called
had the best
that.
opera, and then they also took George and
Called it.
put him on a support role.
Yep.
I called it. I'm just saying I called it.
you did call it. You did call it. The
I
George thing. I forgot about the George thing, man.
Yep.
That's another thing we have to talk about too. Dang it! Come on, man.
There's
Because
so
we can
much.
look at how Nouns are doing right now, speaking of. I mean, wins over Mythic and Noxious, but looks like they're dropping to EG Black. They're down a map right now. They lost to MIBR. They got Strife and Davenport up on the docket. There's a chance Nouns miss out on the playoffs here. And I would say there's a significant chance. Seeing Mythic in 4th just annoys me, to be completely honest.
It's a little
Because
weird.
it's a set spot and it's 5th. Okay.
It's
They have a set
literally
spot.
because of this game right here.
Yeah,
There should be no points for that.
there should be no points, I think. Yeah. And I was kind of curious about MIBR too, because I think we talked about this, you and I, Pineapple, we talked about this on our cast, is that we were like, well, MIBR were getting ready for Pro League. They were getting ready to, play. And then we were wondering if they're going to be able to get all their games in, and evidently not. So, but I mean, they are in the top spot.
They could have played the game. They just
could
elected
have.
not to.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, they were playing a ton of CS. I mean, they were playing a ton of ECL, and they had Pro League. So there's a lot just on the docket for them too.
Yeah, it was what Pain, ATK, and Made in Brazil all had to blitz their games.
Yeah, it
Yep.
was
ATK
disgusting.
was kind of measured with it. ATK was kind of using it as practice, but Pain and Made in Brazil, they blitzed. I think Pain had at least one
Pain's
double
not
header.
done yet.
Yeah, they still have one more as well, and they had.
Oh, they're
they had,
currently playing it.
Oh, are they?
I think they just finished.
Oh,
it.
it's against Villainous. Who cares?
Yep, they just won.
I'm sorry. Okay. But they did a double header versus, I think, Team 1 and was it Detonate? I think they did a double header versus like 2 good teams,
That's brutal.
and I think they won them both. I want to say it was against Detonate. It could be
No,
wrong. It
they
could have been
only
somebody
lost
else.
to. They only lost to ATK. It was
Yeah.
Detonate and Timberman that they did the doubleheader on, and they
Timber.
they did Limitless in Team 1 as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Team 1 Limitless is the one I'm thinking of because I was doing the Limitless game for Limitless like yesterday, the day before, and I had to wait because they were at the 7-Eleven. Taking
That
a
was you
break
and me.
between the games.
Wasn't that you and me?
Which one were we? No, I did Pain Limitless 2 days ago. It was on
that was
the
your
Limitless
solo
channel.
cast.
That was the solo
Yeah.
cast.
Oh, wait, I did it too. We both did it.
No, not
Was on
Pain
like-
Limitless. We did Pain.
What? No, not you and I, but I did it with ECL.
Oh yeah, you were probably on the ECL stream.
I was
You
on,
were
I was on
the
the
main
stream. Yeah, and you did it and I saw your tweet, and I was like, hey, we're
I did
both doing the
myself
same game.
alone. Yeah, yeah.
I was
that
kind of
makes
wishing we could
sense.
just do a 3-person cast or something, and get you in there.
They wanted somebody on their channel. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know that they insisted on. I told them, the game's on the ECL channel, right? I just want to make sure before we continue. Like, yeah. It's like, okay,
Do it.
sounds good to me, man. And then
Good
I added a
grief.
delay on top of the clean feed, so it was like a 7 minute delay.
Good Lord!
I didn't know the clean feed had the delay built in, man. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, casting issues for anybody that's wondering.
I have not run the back end of a stream in like half a year. Okay,
dude, it's
and
been
even
over a year
then,
for
when
me.
I ran the back end, it's always super scuffed. So
you've been streaming Battlefield nonstop for like the last week.
For the last 3 or 4 days, because the new update came out and the game is good now. Okay, the game is good. Check out Battlefield, guys.
Last time.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Sponsored by EA.
Source 2 might be coming.
Yes, sir.
Maybe.
That's a nothing burger. That's a nothing burger.
Possibly.
That's fake news. That's fake news. You saw the tweet, Boggs. You sent the tweet too. Like
I sent the
you don't
tweet
get
to you
bait this
that
one.
said that it is an actual thing, that something is going on, but it's not going to be a new game of Counter-Strike.
Is that what it says? I thought it was
Yes.
just a nothing burger. I thought it was fake news.
It says that it's going to be, it's most likely just an update to the engine. So it's probably just going to be ported over to Source 2 and rolled back into the Counter-Strike Global Offensive ecosystem.
Which is good because I cannot have my skins going away.
Right?
Okay?
Either.
I need my skins. It's the
Me
most
too.
You
important
have one
part.
skin worth my entire inventory, and I'm here like, yeah, no, I
I got that skin for 200 smackaroonies, okay? Like, I got that skin for nothing.
Look at
compared
that
to what it is
profit now, dude. Yeah.
That's what we call inflation.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we call inflation.
Diamond
They call
stonks.
stongs, yeah. I'm a bit of an investor.
Yeah.
Oh god.
All right. I think we have to go back. I think
Yeah,
we have to
let's-
go back. What are we
Let's
talking
move
about?
on.
Let's circle back here and play
Top
up
3 for
top 4.
Group A. Top 3 or top 4 for Group A. Who do you think it is? That's what we're on.
MIBR, obviously. I'm going to say
Mhm.
EG Black, Vendetta, and I can't pick between Nouns and Strife.
I was going to say, is it Nouns or Strife? Because it's definitely not
legitimately
Mythic.
don't know. I would lean towards Nouns just because. Actually, wait,
Yeah.
Strife has Bobby again, stamina.
Yeah, they do. They have Bobby, Snakes, Infinite, Eris.
Anyone have a
Rolls.
coin I can flip?
Yeah, no kidding. I know.
Do I have a coin somewhere? I might.
I'm going Strife. I think Strife are going to take it.
I can see that.
I can see that.
I definitely agree, though. I think the flip coin though is that Nouns could definitely do it, but I mean, I think we're starting to see Strife getting.
I'm
some
so
pretty good
surprised
fashion.
Nouns is still relevant too. I'm so surprised.
They're hanging on.
It's just weird, man. Like they've just done such a turnaround, like in such a short amount of time. It just seems insane to me. I was all aboard that train, and now I just don't even know what to think of them anymore. It sucks.
They can find players. 'Cause I know the issue is at this point, it's players, right? They need more like it feels like CJ's a perpetual stand, and I hate to say it. I don't see anything from him. And
Yeah.
Carson has not paid off in a way that you would have hoped. Like if they can find 2 players for that, and they can keep this core of Marky, B-Wills, and Cynic,
That's good.
it will be a good team.
Spring
We'll be
sent
a
a
team.
second. Just make him a player again. Bring back the glory days.
I think he physically can't anymore because of his
No, he
eyes.
can't. Yeah, I don't think he got the surgery yet, or he did. Can't remember. He's close, or something like that.
I don't
Can't
know.
remember. Anyways, keep him as a coach. I think he's actually doing really good as a coach. I'm actually
agree.
happy I'm happy he went that route. I think it's really good for him. He's got a smart mind for the game for sure.
It seems like the thing keeping them in is the coaching because they've
Mhm.
been a revolving door of players at this point, and they still remain relevant, which makes me think it has to be the thing staying constant, which is the coach.
Yeah, and honestly, like I know Cephas from a long time ago, and I never really got the impression that he was like a person that was like, we need to cut this player and get a new player. Like he does try to use the system and try to build like a good collaboration between the team, but I don't know. I mean, it might just be the players themselves too, right? We talked a lot about some of those individuals on strong personalities on this team, so it's probably a really tough task for him right now to be dealing with that. But yeah, they're clearly in a rut. They're clearly in a bumpy road that is not fun to be on.
Feels like when they lost their place, it's just objective survive right now. I think it's just get through this season, stay in ECL. Honestly, you know who's a free agent, Boggs? Pluto's a free agent right now. Pluto on that roster would be interesting. Pluto would be interesting on the roster.
Okay. Why don't
I
we
didn't think
bump
about
that
that.
up on the list? Because that actually, like, let's put that on, like, after we finish our, like, prediction stuff. But that's a good idea.
Yeah, I like this idea.
I throw players' names at walls and hope they stick.
That one
just did
stuck.
that.
The
That one
spaghetti is ready, man.
Who's calling the stress right now for Nouns? Do we know?
Cynic. It's back to Cynic.
It is. Oh, it is back
yeah.
to Cynic. Okay. Because it would be
He's the
interesting.
only one that can, right?
Yeah, I think he's probably the only person. I thought B Wills used to call, but I think I was misinformed on that, so I removed that statement. So, but I think that's actually interesting because if you got like, no offense to CJ, but you get rid of CJ, put him in. Hey man, I could be supportive of that, and I mean, I guess it all depends on the personalities as well. But I mean, Pluto's also played with like B&B, ETK. short-lived, but yeah, he's played on quite a few teams, and that's a pretty cool thing to know.
He's played on B&B and ATK, but not much before that. So there is a distinct lack of experience overall in his career. Now, the B&B boys love playing with him. They all speak very highly of Pluto. They think he's fantastic to play with. It obviously didn't work with ATK. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, Pluto to Nouns, though, could be... I would honestly cut Carson before CJ, though. CJ seems to have more impact than Carson does on a regular basis. Seems to bring a little more to the team overall. So I think that would be a better move. Pluto would add a lot of firepower and also add a secondary calling style if they really wanted to incorporate that too. Because Pluto was calling for Bad News Bears. So that could also be something that folded in.
We saw Cynic just absolutely pop off when he stopped calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he was disgusting.
He's a really good player to watch out for. And it's sad to see all the things that happened in the past for him. But I mean, it's nice to see that he's kind of back on a team. But obviously Nouns are kind of they're on the rocky road right now. But we'll see what he can do. That's a good move. I like that, Nate. I'm full supportive of your proposition here with Pluto. I don't say that very often. Together, man. Hey, it's good.
Hey, I'm not good at this analyzing stuff. That one's staying in here. That one's good. So I think top 4 we said Made in Brazil, EG Black, Vendetta, and then toss up between Strife and Nouns. But of course, there's free agents on the market. We'll see how they pivot in the next season at this point, because let's be honest, they don't have a horse in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then what did we say for Group B? It's been so long. We said Pain, ATK, Team 1, and then Detonate. I think was the.
I think it's honestly what it is right now.
That one's solidified.
That one's much more solidified. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we see on the right is kind of the groups, right? Maybe like up and down between like maybe Team 1 and Detonate, and just in terms of the win column.
So Team 1 stay in third.
It was narrow though. Like I said, both those games between Pain, Team 1, and Detonate. They said honestly we should have had that 2-0. They said they should have had it 2-0, which is crazy to me to say. Maybe they don't want me to say it. I'll be honest, but like both those games, if you look at it, like if you go to the scores, like both map 1s they won convincingly, like 16-5 versus Team 1 on Inferno. Map 2 was lost 12-16 on both, if I'm not mistaken. It was Detonate, Team 1, Detonate.
That's ATK.
Yeah, it's ATK.
Mind. Wrong one.
Team 1, and then Team 1 was a close. And I think the Pain
map
1
is close. Map 3, not so much.
No, it's the exact same story though. It's a win on their own map pick. It's a 12-16 loss on their opponent's map pick that they could have easily won, and then a map 3 slide.
Yep.
And so they feel like they could have taken it in 2, it's crazy.
I mean, I can see that. I mean, taking it that close against these kind of teams, that's not bad. That's very good. And they scaled that forward into qualifying for the RMR. So there is that.
Mm-hmm.
They beat, ATK in the RMR. They beat like good teams in the RMR too, or the RMR qualifier. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, I'm high on ATK. Still hot on ATK, or not ATK. Detonate. Still hot in Detonate. I think they can still go a lot higher. Keep in mind this coaching staff, Slight. They came on at the start of the season. It's not been long at all.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say they have Vulcan doing some sort of work too. So,
I like it. It's good. Good predictions. We're all on the same page. Yeah. That doesn't really happen very often, I think. So good for us. Look at that. We 3 kings
in harmony.
Now, here's the real question. Oh, Nate stole it. Who wins?
I was gonna say who wins. I didn't think Boggs was gonna go for it, but who wins?
This can't be a debate, is it?
Oh, I think it is. I think for me, it depends on whether or not ATK stay with Kakanito and how well he folds into the roster. Spoiler alert for our next conversation. But I think if ATK can fold Kakanito, and Kakanito's cracked, bring that kid back to NA, ATK should win the league.
Okay. I'm calling Pain still.
I'll say it's Pain and Made in Brazil. I think ATK aren't going to have enough time, even with Pro League, even with the tournament they just played. By the way, terrible news. They like DJ was lost somewhere. They had to play with another stand-in in addition to their stand-in in the last tournament they played.
Bowden didn't have his luggage because that got lost on the way to
Oh my gosh!
Come to Malta. Come to Malta. Yeah. Great, they said. Made in Brazil look good. Honestly,
this is his luggage, man. Like that guy just needs to bring a carry-on and strap that thing to his person.
Yeah, I would put all my equipment like in my carry-on and just be like, "Yep,
equipment." Yeah, 100%.
If I was gonna lose anything, it'd be like, whatever. I'll lose my clothes, but I'm not losing my gear, man. You need that.
Oh, yeah.
It's part of your job, so it's like, whatever. It's not his fault. It just sucks. No. It's just the timing of it's just awful.
honestly, between the two, I would say it's gonna be a Brazilian duel. It's gonna be Pain versus Made in Brazil in my mind.
Agreed.
And I think, honestly, just given how insane Insani's been, it's in his name after all. Like 1.21 rating over the last 3 months. It's kind of crazy. Like, he's had so many like good opening duels. He's been well enabled by his team. It's crazy how good he is. It is crazy, like the amount of impact he has. Every game we've casted of Made in Brazil's, everybody's doing okay, as they should. They're kind of outclassing the other team, but Insani is a cut above.
Yeah, here's some of his stats. This is including Pro League with these 4, maybe 5 games.
He's insane.
Yeah, that's actually nuts. Like the fact that he's playing like international teams with like ratings like over 1.
Look at that against G2.
Yeah, playing a team. Yeah, I was
1.30, 26 kills versus G2.
That's so stupid. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like that's what's so exciting about this MIBR team. Like they are young talent like this kid, and just they are doing really, really good work. I think it's going to be the Brazilian head to head. I definitely agree. It's got to be MIBR or Pain, and I'm giving it slightly just a Pain based on their roster experience. Really, but like that's like the slightest thing that I'm leaning it on.
I'm giving it to Made in Brazil. I'm going against you because I
man, listen, I'm not even disagreeing because like I do kind of feel like there's copium a lot behind MIBR, so I'm like I kind of want it, but I'm just gonna stick to my guns with Pain. But I'm okay if I'm upset.
You do you. I'm doing me. And now Boggs has to break the tie, or he has to go for ATK copium.
I already said that if Kakanito gets brought back to the US, I think ATK can win. So, but that's a big if. If they don't get Kakanito, I don't know who they'd be able to play the rest of the season with, who they'd be able to play playoffs with. So I would have to edge towards MIBR personally. Okay. Just because of what I've seen from both teams. Pain has looked a little underwhelming for me. Meanwhile, MIBR has looked overwhelming. They've looked better. They've exceeded expectations. Pain have fallen short, I think, a little bit. What they'll do at Pro League will be a better metric. But as of right now, I have to give the slight edge to MIBR. But of course, that can all change. It's a Brazilian derby. It's going to be a slugfest no matter what. Yeah. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
Absolutely. I'm actually looking so forward to that. Get the popcorn out, man. Like, that's going to be the sickest match. Yeah,
it's going to be a good season of playoffs.
It's going to be a great season of playoffs. Yeah, this is actually really, really exciting.
Unlike last playoffs, which was kind of just like, yeah, it's going to be this team and this team and this team winning. Everyone else kind of sucks.
It was honestly, the last one was interesting because no matter what, like we said, no matter what, a team was going to have a disappointing finish. Like someone was going to finish outside the top 4 because of the way the bracket worked. That was what was cool about last season to me. This season, it feels like there's a line, very much a line between the top 4 or 5 of each group. And I think, honestly, didn't we, Boggs, I think we mentioned it. We said Group B is the harder group.
Yes.
But but when it comes down to it, Group A is the one that we're struggling to put a top 4 on. So it's like it's a little bit deeper, you know?
I would say Group A has a higher ceiling, but a broader mid.
Yeah.
You have MIBR and EG at the top, and then Vendetta, Strife, and Nouns all kind of in the midpoint. Mythic below that, Davenport and Noxious down towards the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
Meanwhile, fair. Group B, you have these 3 juggernauts and Pain, ATK, and Team 1 with Detonate and Timberman. And I would throw Limitless in there because Limitless have not been terribly
They've not been bad. They've not been bad. They better stay in ECL.
I mean, they have this win over them, which there's a big asterisk. There's a giant asterisk next to that one because that was ATK with Pluto, and ATK with Pluto, I don't know if they actually won a single best of 3 series.
No.
They won nothing. They won. Fever dream. That was a nightmare.
Yeah, that wasn't a fever dream. That was just a straight up nightmare.
That's just stonks just going nowhere. It's going in the negatives, baby.
Yeah. Like, why don't we transition over to that since we're on
we gotta talk about it. Like that has got to be the most unlucky situation I have ever seen. Not only just for ATK, but let's just talk about Pluto. You bring him in, you're like, this is a good pickup. This should be a really good fit for the team, and they suck. Let's just be honest. They're dog water. Like, it's not good. And you can see all the scores here. Boggs, I'll let you walk through, but man, oh man.
I'm actually curious as to when Pluto officially.
I'm just on Pluto's page. I'm just on Pluto's page. So you can look at the matches Pluto's played with ATK.
That's a good idea.
You want me to send it to you or you got it?
I'll get it. Okay. Do it the old-fashioned way.
I felt like we were hot on the pickup because we love Pluto. And we said Pluto was one of those key reasons that... gosh, the Vendetta were going to be pretty good this season.
Yeah.
And like, okay, you hate to see one of the teams that we were hot on get neutered, but you're also big ups to see him getting picked up. And then you just see this nightmare, this absolute nightmare of runs. Like losing 9 versus Villainous. Oh my God, it's
It all
so
starts
bad.
on February 6th. The loss to Detonate. First game, first official with ATK, lost to Detonate. They beat Noxious. They lose to Limitless. For me, that was already where the warning bells were being sounded. I think I messaged you guys like, something's not working, something's got to change.
Yeah, that's bad.
These are 2 losses ATK should not have. This win, I give it 0 weight because it's CCT and it seems like there's a lot of upsets in CCT. I don't think teams take it as seriously as, say, ECL, as well as the fact that it's EG White who play like once a month.
Yeah.
Which
I agree.
That's a topic for a different.
I think that's its
the
own
next
episode.
one. That's the next one.
That's the next.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be the
next
next episode. My God.
That's the next topic, man. I hate to say it. We're getting on soapboxes today.
But it's
Then
just like a
this
month.
over Villainous. This win, I don't know what happened here. ATK EG main, but EG main lost in the open qualifier for the RMR. And then lost to MIBR, kind of expected. And then getting dumpstered on here by Complexity and Pain. Lost to Strife. Oh, that was the Rio qualifier, not the RMR. Excuse me. So yeah, EG didn't even make the Rio qualifier.
They bombed out, didn't they?
Yeah, because they lost to ATK. That was it. It was single elimination at that point in the BO1 stage.
Yeah.
And then into the major qualifier, into the RMR qualifier, a loss to Strife, and then a 16-14 over Formula, lost to Detonate, and then a scrape by over Vendetta, but then a loss to Nouns, who have not been the most impressive. That was the last game Pluto played with ATK.
Like we said, Nouns are currently playing Survive. They're not playing to win. Nouns are playing these tournaments to build their repertoire, or to use it as practice. And honestly, it does feel like they're just trying to survive. It does not feel like they're trying to get to the major again or to the RMR. So yeah, losses like that are very concerning, and so they cut. They had to cut them. Right?
Yep.
They had to change it.
Right there, February 19th. That's the last game they had with Pluto. Team 1's next on the docket.
Who'd they play with versus Team 1?
Rec.
Rec. Oh yes, Rec. Of course. I remember way back in the day, Rec was like 15. He was on the first team that I casted for. Like they were going to frag. My buddy had to like eat his parents before they went to make sure he was a suitable guardian. Like I remember when Rec was a Zoomer, and so he's still sticking around. You love to see that, but
Rec's
it's crazy,
talent, man.
It's crazy how quickly things turn around like that. Pick up Rec, 2-0 Team 1. That's unreal.
This was a default. This was a forfeit. Then this 2-1 over Pain, and right there, then and there, you could already see the teams flipped around.
Yeah, big wins.
And then that's an easy win over Villainous.
But
This
like it's
loss, there's the asterisk because
it's being
the extra stand-in.
Cognito and a second stand-in.
Yeah, which is a huge disadvantage for them too. But even like the fact they beat Pain, that to me was super impressive, and I was never expecting that. Like it was that a 2-1? Did go the distance, but either way, like I said, I've been on the Pain train here for a long time, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Why is ATK beating them in all seriousness? But they did it, and you said they added Rec, which was good, but I don't know, man. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed that the whole I got to see their first game with Rec, which was against Team 1, and there were instances where the team struggled. There were instances Rec bailed them out. Several, especially on Anubis, where Rec just put the team in this backpack and was like, all right, boys, come along for the red. But the whole scope of the team, the way they played, completely changed. It was like watching two different teams from ATK with Pluto and ATK with Rec. Been able to cast both of them throughout this season. ATK with Pluto, everyone looked scared, completely unconfident. Just, they looked like shadows of their former selves. With Rec, they looked confident, they looked composed, the communication looked a lot better. So, I'm not saying that Pluto's a bad player by any means. In fact, we already talked about, we think he's a very good player. he was not the right fit for this roster, and the statistics instantly speak for themselves.
Yeah. Probably the mesh
It's
too, right?
self-explanatory. Yeah, it's self-explanatory. I think it's
Just
the mesh. And
personalities.
honestly, you mentioned that he was an IGL. I wonder if he's like making the team second guess, offering some input that threw them off.
That could be.
It's
Well-
got to be something out of the server because there's nothing that changes your play like that so quickly.
Exactly. And isn't Mistim usually the IGL now?
Yep. Mr.
Yeah,
the
so-
IGL.
So and that's the thing. Like when you add like another IGL to a team, like this is kind of going back into long history, but this is kind of the most thing I can think of. It's like the Steel and Dazed kind of days, right? I mean, those guys when they were on a team together, it was like they always had so many opinions. I remember players were like, it's just an absolute cluster of like confusion because you're like, what the hell do we do here? So I kind of wonder if it's that. Like I almost wonder if Pluto tried to come in with suggestions and things, and then Mistim and him were clashing. Not saying it was that, but like 2 IGLs is tough. You need one person to take the reins, and you got to follow that order, right?
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, like maybe not outright calling because he doesn't have to call, but just saying something else or offering some input in the heat of the moment to make the team second guess. Because to see a team that different that quickly, it definitely seems like something like that.
Yeah.
When they can easily slot in Rec, who's just a fragger, and they can play confident. Like it's not even like a set fifth. It's just it's very telling that something outside of the server, whether it was communications or something else, was breaking down.
They do have a match against Endpoint coming up here in the next few days.
That.
So we'll see how they do. That's their next match. And they got Pro League up on the 15th.
Versus Ents, and Ents is like, I don't know, Ents is weird too. Like, I mean, I think Ents will take them, but like, it's not a really good form of an Ents right now too. So it's not like, it's definitely a chance.
Even looking like
Question. I was just gonna ask that.
ATK ends. Winner plays Liquid or Rare Atom.
Winner
Loser
plays
plays
Liquid.
Liquid or Rare Atom.
Winner plays
Okay.
Liquid.
So ATK is going to be.
Don't
Rare
completely
Atom.
discount Rare Atom here.
I'm discounting them.
I'm discounting them.
I'm not discounting them because I'm not fully confident Liquid will win.
Damn.
Okay, you're right. Liquid do get in their own heads. You're right.
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah. Spirit Australis sounds interesting. 4 is Navi. I mean, it should be Navi game, but Navi's
That shouldn't be
also
much
kind
a
of
game,
wishy-washy.
but also very wishy-washy on this side of the aisle.
4 is going to win it for
sure.
sure. It's easy.
I can't believe Jerry's still there.
Dude, Jerry's a beast.
Jerry's a beast, man.
I love Jerry.
And then
Big fan.
Astralis Spirit's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, that's the fun one to me.
That's going to be,
Yeah.
that should be a sick game. Yeah.
This is a really weird group.
This is such a weird group. I think I even listened to, I think it was Maui and Scrawny were talking about this, and I think this was one of the groups they were like, this is just weird of a group for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of those
let's
groups you
look at-
can't suss out. It's like
Payne's
you know-
got NIP.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Payne and NIP like because we've been casting Payne. I was like, they got like a week until they play NIP.
Yeah.
When does the game start? When is that game?
March
It's
8th.
It's in literally a week. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's in 1
a
week.
week from
Okay.
today.
I don't
And they
know,
play the
I'm
last game, so now they're probably literally hopping on a flight tonight so they can prepare.
Yep.
'Cause they have to boot camp there, otherwise you're out of your element. So yeah,
And they also got
Interesting.
0-0 Nation in their group, too.
that is interesting.
Wait. That's a change.
Even Greyhound too.
Cold
Who's this
Zera,
guy?
Lotto, and NQZ, Demao, and I don't know if that's a change. I don't think it is. N9. Let's see.
A former
Get all these on the
Godsend
team.
player.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
He's standing?
It was
He's
a
from
young
the-
Godsend.
Was it an
Young
academy
guns.
player?
Dude hasn't been on a team in half a year. Almost 8 months.
I think this was what the weird thing was. I think I remember seeing it.
Oh, yeah, because Taco's not playing.
Yeah, Taco's not playing.
Oh yeah, that's probably an important name that we
Right.
noticed.
I forgot about that. I was like, something happened here. What is this?
It's okay. We're all on the same wavelength.
Greyhound's going to beat Vitality 2-0.
Yes,
16-5,
100%.
16-7.
It
100%.
does. Copium.
I love I love Greyhound. I love the Aussie teams. They're always fun.
They're always good.
I
Time.
say it's always Aussie. You love the Aussies.
Yep. But yeah, why don't we... Oh, complexity.
So they lost a big today. What? They
Yeah.
lost?
They started off so well.
Yeah, they
And I
did.
went-
It was a
did
cool-
life things and oof.
Yeah.
I saw map 1 and I was like, okay, it's over. GG. They won their opponent's map pick. Okay, I'm leaving.
Yep.
And they lost. Oh, it sucks.
Floppers did good though, which is good.
I did see that. We're getting distracted though. We had some distinct things to talk about, and we're purely NA. Okay.
Well, we are there. Like we were trying to talk about ATK, Pain, MIBR. We were trying to talk about Pro League. We're just talking about a few other teams. They're all NA.
No, we're talking about ATK only. We're talking about the ATK roster Mania.
True.
And who was the player they picked up to replace the fifth?
There's Kakanito standing in, former Blue Jays man, solid player.
We're talking about, will he come back to North America if they do well?
Yes.
I don't know if he can get a visa that fast.
That's the other question. Like, will he be able to get a visa? How will everything work with him moving to NA?
Because right now he's just standing in. He's purely standing right now. They made the mistake of signing Pluto immediately, and they're not doing that again.
Yep.
So
he's out.
He's out,
eh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys. Now, do we want to move on to your guys' favorite part of the episode, to the big...
Why don't we talk about Pain ATK performance at EPL before we hop into that, since we're already on the topic. We're already here.
All right.
It's fair. Pain ATK.
So
who's
look
Pain playing?
Here.
Yep.
That's a rough group. That's a tough group.
It's a rough group for sure. Yeah, I think this is going to be rough for them. But I think even if they lose, they're going to be playing...
They'll play Rooster, second map.
So I think they have it... no offense, but who the hell's Rooster?
I want to see their South American roster.
I mean, sweet, but...
Okay, you telling me there's 3 South American
they're Australian.
Teams? Okay, thank God.
Oh, they're the other Aussie roster.
3 South American teams in one group is definitely like some weird stuff. Okay, so I thank God they're not South American, because that was.
So we know that Pain are going to be able to at least get a win into this. Theoretically,
it will not be last.
They will not be last. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's not like NIP are like playing Unreal, but like NIP definitely has way more exposure to like better teams and stuff like that, and like better rank, of course. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes they have these weird moments too where they don't play that well. So it's like Pain, if they're in the right form and the right time, man, they definitely can make that an interesting series to take.
As we talked about, all of Pain's practice as of late has been North America ECL. Just
the best quality of Counter-Strike, baby. NA. Let's go, NA.
NACS.
We are one of the Counter-Strike regions in the world. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah,
it is indeed one of them.
Yeah,
I don't know realistically if they'd have. They're not going to beat FaZe. They're not going to beat Vitality. They'll struggle against OG and against NIP.
OG Pain would be pretty sick, and NIP sick.
Greyhound could beat them. I think that's a bit more of a toss-up. I think Pain takes 0-0 Nation.
I don't think there's any doubt. I think Pain is like the second best team from Brazil, and honestly, like number 1 is Furia. Is Furia considered NA too? I think so. I don't
yes, technically Furia's NA.
The NASA thing is pissing me off. It's like,
best region,
man.
dude. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
NA,
Furia's NA. Made in Brazil is NA. Team 1 is NA. Pain is NA. Did I say Pain already?
No.
Pain.
That was four top tier South American teams that you listed as NA, which is
the 4 best.
I guess at this point, is Brazil even a region, or is South America even a region? They do have 9Z.
And they have 0-0 Nation, Fluxo,
Imperial. Okay, so they still got some teams, but
did Imperial even make the? Okay, they did.
Give me the armor. Yeah, they did. They did.
Okay.
I remember listening to
Paqueta too.
Not bad.
Still though. Who?
Yeah.
Who's the last team at EPL? I guess MIBR.
MIBR already played. Not great. They got 1 win. IHC.
Yeah.
Hey, they got a win. That's all I'll say.
They got the win here. And they got the loss.
But I guess the only thing that last time we already talked about it was just that Insani thing was just insane.
Yeah. And we have ATK here, which
and I don't think they
maybe a win over Rare Adam. That's about it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Their group is hard. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
their group's tough. Not the greatest group.
One.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward indeed. Good luck, ATK.
Good luck, boys.
I bid you a fair due.
Yep. Now there is an elephant in the room, which we've been hinting at, alluding to. It's time for the evil geniuses.
I was gonna say I love the bounty. I thought that was awesome. What I don't think is awesome is the performance of EG. I just like don't get it anymore. Like I just don't understand. This team is just hitting rock frickin' bottom, man. Like you're going over the matches right now for people that can't visually see what's going on, but man, it is just
it's across the board too. It's across the board. It's not even just the main roster. Like they're making so many dumb decisions.
Yeah.
Like my main gripe comes because I'll be honest, I don't wake up early and watch these games. I'll be honest. I look at the stats afterwards, sure. My main gripe comes from EG Black. Like all my issues come from EG Black and the management of the players and talent that they have there. But like, yeah, EG is still
in a different way that I think people are going to be hearing this.
Yeah, like it feels so grossly mismanaged. It's kind of like unreal that these people have been able to like get the kind of support that they've gotten. You know, like you love to see money in the scene, sure, but you have to like use it well. You can't just throw something at the wall and hopes it sticks like I do. Because you're professional, I'm not.
Well, and I think there was even like articles and like discussions about, you know, EG management, and like there was players that were saying like, yeah, it's not good. Like it is way behind than what it should be for like an established org like this too. Mm-hmm. So then now we're starting to see these results for all the different EG colors. Like, man, it sucks. Like they gotta reinvent the blueprint, please. Like it's terrible. Just throw it in the shredder. Don't ever look back.
EG Black is the only good one.
They are the only good one.
They're the one I have issues with.
EG White got ruined by lack of playtime. EG Main is just a disaster. Let's see how many games they've won here. Going back January 24th. Lost to Heroic, lost to Complexity at Blast Premier Spring. Lost to Fnatic, lost to Sprout, IEM Katowice play-ins. Lost to Illuminar. A 1917 win. It's a 1917 win over Demon Time. Demon Time. 16-14 lost to ATK. 19-16 lost to Ur. Who are Ur, you're asking? A team of puggers and friends who join up for the qualifier for the major and make it to the RMR, partly because they beat EG Main. EG, they beat Raid and Vendetta. Cool. Lost to MIBR, beat Mythic, lost to Team 1. Boom. No major for Evil Geniuses. They're done. Right. Lost to Cloud9, Eternal Fire, IHC. This team does not beat teams of their level, anywhere near their level. They are an ECL team. That is plain and simple. They are not the best team in North American ECL if they were to play in North American ECL.
Dude, this is the most I've seen him erupt, dude. Ever seen this before?
I knew he was going to erupt.
Dude, that thing was bottling up.
He's got some bottled up issues. I will say, now that public opinion's on his side, he's ready to let go. That's all I'll say, because he's been on this for a while.
Yeah.
I will say that by letting Ur win, they did technically beat Disconnected so hard that they fell apart. Right? Because they let Ur go to the major and then disconnected. So like they technically tactically lost to literally bully a team out of existence. Okay, so we'll give them that.
Yeah, that's the coolest accomplishment they've had in a while. Like,
okay, how do you excuse this against Demon Time?
That was a pug
is
team.
The prior iteration of Ur.
And that was a pug team. And they died like as soon as I was done. Demon Time was like, yeah, we're done. It was the fastest thing I've ever seen.
Demon Time like 3/5 Ur. I'm pretty sure it is 3/5 Ur.
Wasn't Bobby on that team too?
Stamina, Wolfie, Darty, and Jitter.
Oh, okay, never
mind. Isn't it? Who's on Ur? Isn't
Darty,
it like the same players?
Rec, Walker, and yeah, it is.
Is it 2/5 or 3/5?
Okay, I was thinking of the one with
Walker and Rec.
Okay,
Rec's a big pickup, like we talked about.
Yeah. Walker too, fragging out.
And he came back from retirement. Like he took a big break. And he comes back and he's positive and he's got like a 1.17 against EG.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me?
Opping against Wiz, who was picked up for Blueprint, yet they have this guy sitting on the bench.
Yeah. Also,
it makes no sense.
EG Black makes no sense because they have Junior, which, you know, he's good. He stunts. He had some disappointing performances internationally. It doesn't matter. He's going to destroy here. The main thing to me on this stupid roster is they signed George. They put him on this secondary roster, which is annoying enough as is. Everybody says it. Put George on the main roster. The issue is not only is he on the sub, which I can get, put him on the sub for a month or two, let him settle into the EG Black flow state is what I'm going to call it. It's probably what they call it in the management side of things. But not only are they doing that, they're just sticking him on nades. He's doing the dishes. Like, he's not getting the fight. He's having to throw random ass utility, and then he's not getting to shine, which is his whole point. That's why we loved picking up George. See him get a paycheck. See him actually frag on a team that's worthy of having him frag. And like, He's not getting to do that. He's getting to do nothing. He has to sit there and throw utility, which is just unreal to me. George should be
him
a
frag
star.
out over the last couple of games.
Did they finally start letting him loose?
Yeah, and they started winning like big.
Okay, which game? I'm gonna go check. Which game did we cover him on? Because I wrote, I have my notes for every single game. I write it old-fashioned style. I'm gonna go see when was the last EG game we casted. We casted the Mythic EG game. Was it the Mythic EG game I'm thinking of? Or did we cast them again?
Because
it had to be Mythic EG. They won.
Yeah.
They won handedly, but he was literally the utility man. Like, he was caught with the utility in his hand, chucking flashes on a ramp on Vertigo, like legitimately just full time utility. And I was like, I don't care who you're playing against. Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're letting him loose finally, maybe, but like that game to me, like I was like sure they're winning, but like he's your god. You signed him because he's the god. Yeah. He did so good at the RMR. He should be a star player on your main roster, and here he is doing the unspoken hero play on the sub roster. It's inexcusable.
Yeah, it's total BS. Sure, it makes zero sense to me. This whole EG thing is just ridiculous. It's gotten to a point where it boiled over. Everybody's upset Boggs now. Like this, like things are just escalated, and like
you got 15 players. Just put their names in a bowl and pull 5 out, and as long as it isn't an already existing roster, it will do better than what you have currently.
It couldn't be worse.
It couldn't be, and like that's the thing. And again, it's no discredit to Ur, but like again, a team that came together, they're all friends, they have experience playing together, but they just came together for the qualifier and they win. Yeah, sure, it was an overtime win of 19-16, but that's so inexcusable, and that's the main roster. So you're talking about talent like Automatic, you're talking Breeze, you're talking Hex, like all these guys. These are big names, and they're beating them.
Metaphorical wheelchair. Let's be honest. He said he's retired.
Exactly.
He's like 65 in Counter-Strike years. Showed up in his wheelchair, and he did that. Like, there's no way. They gave him a ramp.
And then and then Boggs are hovering over the IM Dallas invited teams. Like, again, this whole thing is such BS because now they're just getting home advantage. Yeah, local hero invite. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
EG Black.
Why? Yeah, I don't
They're
get
better.
it.
They're literally better.
Time, dude. Invite EG White. They need to play something, please.
That too. They couldn't do worse. Because we all know EG's going to walk in there, not win a single map, and bomb out of another event.
Man.
I don't know, man. Maybe they could win one, okay? Let's set the bar low. Let's give them an opportunity to build, okay?
Yeah, they've had a lot of opportunities.
They've had too many opportunities.
This is just like, I know I hate bashing teams, but like, it's just like, man, like something has to change. And it's not even the players. Like, I'm not even upset at the players. No. Like, I think it is like an upper level thing. And clearly nobody's getting their input in there. Even if players are saying stuff, nothing's changing. And
when it's so bad that the broadcast is getting the okay to do a bit on how bad your team is, and then that very same on-screen broadcast talent also puts a $1,000 bounty on your head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's bad.
That bounty gets claimed right here.
Team one.
I think didn't Mobs tweet at him like an hour saying
instantly right after the match. Like, where's my money?
Instant money. Where's the money? And the money was sent. They're like, we're going skiing. So well-earned trip for the Team One boys. My God.
Yeah, and Mobs popped off that game too. Like, look at that, 100 ADR.
Plus 28.
Also, this is a problem for EG main.
Nealon, yeah.
And this is a big problem for EG main.
Your op and your old dog, one of your old dogs, I should say. Yeah. Remember when Breeze was a star and then it was mismanaged and everybody's kind of criticizing them for not doing much? Honestly, I wish we had that not doing much EG at this point because it could be better than what this is currently. Like, I'd rather have those random players not doing much, kind of just sitting there as a roster and at least doing okay, as opposed to signing these players and dooming them to irrelevancy. Because right now it feels like these players are all being doomed to irrelevancy.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see the individual stats here from the players. Like, look at these ratings.
Oh.
These ratings are dog water for viewers that are not looking.
And I'm pretty sure this is the ratings all time on the roster.
Go the last 3 months. I want to see the last 3 months.
I don't think you can as the general overview. Wait. Do they have a match coming up that I could just snag the stats from?
No, they just lost Pro League. Nice try.
Yeah. They don't have a match coming up for a while because they don't have any. They didn't qualify for the major, for the RMR They have local hero invite to Dallas.
Surprising on that one, honestly. You think they gave him
I
that
don't wanna
just
go
because they
one
wouldn't
by
be able to
one,
qualify?
but-
Probably.
Let's see. Since we're talking about Breeze,
0.98 in the last 3 months. It shows it on the default
Yeah.
page, by the way.
I'm
the
just
worst.
bringing it big.
Yeah, it's
Look
not
at
good.
this. 66% cast.
Oh my, that's an advanced level team.
Yes.
Like when I look at surface level, who's gonna win on an ECL or an advanced cast? I look at cast and I just say, okay, if you have a decent cast, like if your team is above the board on cast, like 75%, 70%, sorry, like around there, and you're just outperforming the other team, you're gonna be better. That's how I look at it. That cast rating of 66 is something that I don't even often see in ECL. Like that's absurdly
That's a
low for
bottom
a
tier
cast.
ECL team.
That is a bottom tier ECL cast. Like
Yeah, this is not good, man.
Let's just do this. So we saw Breeze. Hext, I don't think he's been put in a good position on this roster.
mm-mm.
This is a mismanagement of a prospect, for sure.
The lowest cast for a limitless player is 69.4,
Oh, there's 68 right here.
and it was 66 for Breeze.
This ADR is just... But again, it's the positions Hext is being put in, I think. And the team environment is obviously bad.
Yeah. Well, and they're just not winning, right? Like, so now they're probably it's probably just getting worse and worse and worse. Like, how do you get out of this rut?
Let's look
Like
at
the-
Nealon.
You're at the point where you're getting clowned on,
66%
yeah.
cast.
There needs to be like a point where you do have to just
Throw in
change
the
the
towel.
management entirely, or throw in the towel. Honestly, like say, all right, we've done our best. Give it to the coaches and the coaches only. It feels like there's so many goddamn people. There's Axed. There's Mad Cow. They have so many people in coaching positions or in management positions. Don't they have Valens as well? Like, they have so
Yeah.
many people.
Valens is the head of it all. Vorberg is the official coach of the EG main roster. Mad Cow, Axed, Munster. Well, Axed and Munster are respectively coaching EG Black and White.
Just give everything.
So-
Like, those coaches are insane. Like, those coaches are really good.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Munster is a phenomenal coach.
Yeah,
And he's
Munster.
poured his heart and soul into that roster for years now. Axe is doing a great job with EG Black. Like, the problem is the main roster and how they're handling the talent pipeline. Wiz getting promoted, it was a good experiment, but Wiz has never been the best opper in North American ECL. He's always been rather mid in North American ECL. And
He's a
you're
good prospect,
promoting him
though.
to the main roster.
Yeah. It's busted, man. It's got to go.
Then
Throw in the
again,
shredder.
you have this team.
You should sign Boggs as your management position. It will
Mhm.
sit there and look pretty and tell everybody else to do all the work. And let me tell you, it will turn out better. It will turn out better.
No. Don't hire me for a management position unless you want me getting my fingers in everything.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
Oh,
Maybe that's
God.
what's
I
needed.
come from the sports world.
Do you
They
accept blame?
micromanage everything.
Well, that's the thing that doesn't make sense. Like, we all don't know, but like we're all just making the assumption that like the management level is just not doing anything, and like, I mean, there was a lot of rumors even back in the Stewie 2K
No, they're
days,
doing
right?
stuff.
They're
Which is not
making
good
the
stuff.
bad
Yeah,
decisions.
they're doing stuff. They're just making terrible decisions. Like they have no insight on what's actually good or bad. Well, apparently they have
Yeah.
insight on
They're,
what's bad.
they're
and they're
looking
running
almost
with
as
it.
bad as the Olympics esports committee right now.
Oh
You're getting that.
God,
Hot
that's
damn.
another thing.
Dude,
That was
we
a
gotta
good
bring that up next
poignant
time.
reference right there.
Oh.
You're welcome for that one.
Dude, I read that and I just lulled. Like,
Where's
there's not even one.
where's my barf bucket?
I
Yeah,
actually
like
thought the social media major had a stroke mid tweet. I don't mean like this is two different sections. Like this is esports, and then there's like it's like Wii Sports. Like I was so
Oh,
confused.
man.
Also, like, I'm pretty sure it's like the most of the games aside from Just Dance and Gran Turismo are original games developed
Yeah, like
by the Olympic
archery.
Committee.
It was archery. I was like archery. It's just normal
Yes.
sports. Like
The baseball one, it's like, what is it? It's not even MLB The Show. It's just like some generic freaking baseball game. Taekwondo? It's not even a fighting game. Like Smash, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, the freaking Warner Brothers one.
It would have been kind of cute and it's
Soul
still out of
Calibur.
touch if they did something like this is the real life analog of a game that we're featuring like Smash. Like Smash,
Yeah.
they said, oh, it's Taekwondo because they have a Taekwondo set
Yep.
event or something.
I
Like that. It would
thought
have been
that's what it was at first.
cutesy and out of touch and boomery to get the boomers into it. That could have been something funny, you know. But no, it's
Yeah.
just outright like it's just outright something weird. I don't get
Did you
it.
see the freaking sailing game too? Like, really?
I didn't even
Video
watch
game
anything.
sailing?
I saw that. I thought it was actually like real life sports. They were saying were video games.
I know, me too. No,
Yeah.
like nobody's gonna watch this. Like
No,
nobody's gonna watch it.
I'm clocking out.
Nobody's even gonna watch the Gran Turismo one. Probably.
So then the whole esports aspect is gonna just be a bust because they'll be like, oh, it didn't work. It's not as popular as we thought. It's like, yeah, because you picked literally dog shit
pick
games.
esports.
You didn't pick esports titles. You just picked random games. You're like, we'll pick this one.
Which
Pick
game did
this
they even
one.
pick?
I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Honestly,
I just hate it. Makes me so mad.
I'm pulling this up.
Man, I've been waiting
If I can
for
find it.
years for like the Olympics to bring this to esports. I was like, yeah, one day it'll happen. It's the right move. It's going to be, popular. Esports is going to pop off. And then they do this shit. And you're like, well, how does this make any sense? Like, you don't even have CS. You don't have Valorant. You don't have like Rainbow Six. You have nothing. You have nothing.
Moment, dude.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
freaking League of Legends.
yeah, you don't have it like a League of Legends. You have nothing. Like, nothing
Like
that's a main
League,
esport.
a Dota, a CS:GO, and a Valorant, something like that.
just-
you know?
Literally couldn't make less sense. Like, again, somebody that probably has zero clue in the scene, have no idea what they're doing, probably some consultant on LinkedIn that they think they're an esports consultant. They're like, yeah, sure, this is great. And look what we got.
Detonate
Kidding.
Fun fact, Detonate did 2-0.
This is so stupid.
There you go.
16-14, 16-10 versus Limitless.
I'm trying to find. Yeah, so they have an archery game called Tic Tac Bow, which apparently only has like 100 downloads as of right now.
Listen, I think the thing is we just got to play one of these games and just go to the Olympics. Like, I think
you know
that's the
what?
thing.
If it's a brand new game, if they're talking about like they're designing games, that's cool.
That's fair.
Discovering a game that anybody can play and sign up for, and like do an open qualifier in your country. That sounds kind of funny. Doesn't sound like esports.
Sounds funny.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
Ha ha, funny.
Okay.
Not as not as a freaking
Wait,
Olympic
now this is
event.
about to go to the map 3 versus EG Black.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
Not
Very
diggity damn.
interesting. I thought that would be something worth mentioning.
What is
Like
this?
I said,
The tennis game? Tennis Clash? What is that?
Not even like Mario Tennis, dude.
you guys sound angry. You okay? You okay, Boggs?
We gotta switch the topic. He's gonna erupt
What
again.
are the topics
It's gonna
we
be
have
an
right
EG
now? We
thing.
got on our
We
EG
only know-
box.
I think we kind of covered the last two, but unless you guys want to just
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about Ur a little bit. I want to talk about Ur a little bit more because,
Okay.
I mean, hey, these guys made it into the RMR, what used to be basically the
Big.
minor. If
Trip
you
to
are
to
tuning back
Monterrey,
into
Mexico,
Counter-Strike.
man. Trip to Monterrey, Mexico.
And here's the other thing. This is kind of what Valve wants Counter-Strike to be, right? 5 friends, go up, qualify for major. That's kind of like their ideal. That is the gold standard of Counter-Strike according to Valve. I wouldn't say you have a chance to qualify for the major itself. The fact that
Only
you even
5
made
spots.
it here is phenomenal.
that's pretty unreal, man. Like we said, this is a team of 5 players. They have played together in some capacity in the
Yeah.
past, but again, one player was Walker was on a huge retirement or like a break. And again, Walker's sick.
Retired. Walker retired.
Dude, he's sick. Like I remember casting plenty of his games with both of you guys,
yeah.
and like he's a really good player. But like
I love Walker.
you take a break, you're gonna be rusty as hell, and apparently not that rusty because he came back and he did really like quite well. Like his rating's the lowest or one of the lowest on the team, but like still, he's one of the oppers and he's still doing quite well, and he's opping in EG.
Yeah. And I would assume he's probably taken a lot of the IGLing on his shoulders too. I'm not sure who's full calling for this team, but I would assume since he's probably the oldest player on this roster, it's going to be Walker.
Yeah,
I
pretty
agree.
cool
They're
though.
already 66 in the world. Because
also
of
Pretty
this.
unreal.
You want to know where EG Black is?
67. 67. That's actually poetic.
That's actually so true.
EG main is 25. I don't know how. I legitimately don't know how they're 25th in the world.
Yeah, that's
I think the Walker opping and doing so well so quickly highlights the main issue in NA right now. There's no oppers.
That is a big
Talked
problem
about-
with NA.
Talked about Slight being the big pickup for Detonate. The only issue Detonate had at that point was the op, and that's what's got them from barely hanging on an ECL to playoffs at this point. Like it's unreal.
it is unreal.
So if you're an opper in Europe and you can get into North America, this is your shot.
Man, this is such a cool roster too because like I'm gonna butcher his name. It's not Clasia, but how do you say Clasia?
I say Clasia.
That's what I said too.
It's
but
Clasia.
according to Pineapple Phillips, the insider told me incorrect. Anyways, but again, really cool roster. Like a lot of like mixture of guys from different rosters, different teams. They've been all over the place. They are friends.
20 years old with a boomer.
a young team. The
Walker's
boomer,
24. So
Okay, he's not a
24.
boomer.
you're calling
Give me
you
a
and
break.
me a boomer at that point, Nate.
Dude,
I wanna let you know,
what the
Boggs,
hell am I
we've
if
been
24 is a boomer, dude? Like, what is this?
You're
Oh,
a
man.
buddy.
Grandpa, dude.
I
Like,
was setting this up like Walker was coming back in his wheelchair, bro. Like he's only 24.
I heard you
like,
say
come
that, and
on.
I was like, huh.
Well, I think it's because I rack and
Because he's coming out of retirement, dude. Okay, when you
young.
come back from retirement, coming out of the retirement home, you know you're
Yeah,
grinding
Walker's
the wheelchair.
23, bro.
Oh my god.
You guys
dude.
set it up like he
Darty's
was the old
18.
fart. I hate you guys.
Clyde's
either way-
is 19. Jitter's like 18 or 19. 19
It's not a
years
retirement. It's a
old.
resignation. He just resigned. Okay, he did not
Yeah.
retire. He resigned.
Fair enough. I said big break, but either way, coming
said
back to
wheelchair
it.
Then he
bound.
retired. That's what I was going off of.
Okay. But either way, like it's pretty cool to see. Like this kind of reminds me, like, I'm not saying this is the same case, but it does remind me of like the old school complexity, like way back in the day, which was like different guys from different teams. They were kind of like the outsiders of like all these teams, and now they're together. It's pretty cool to see, right? So like Clasia or whatever you want to call him. Like, I mean, he was on EG, Clasia, whatever. I'm just going to call him Clasia because I'm going to call him that. He was on EG at one point, right? Like, I mean, that was something too. He didn't make it, obviously. Now he's on this team, no org. This is just a group of guys that are going to Mexico, man. They're just fragging out. They're gaming, and that's sick. Like, I love this. I hope they do well, but I mean, realistically, look at that. You look at the page here. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough time.
0-3 and a nice weekend down on the beach.
Hey, man, paid trip down there, get some experience, play some cool teams, meet some players, man. Whatever, dude.
If you go out quick, you do get more vacation time.
There you
No,
go.
I think they send you
believe.
home.
They send you home? No
I'm
way,
pretty sure
dude.
they send you home when you lose.
They don't let you
Why
stay
would
for
they
the
not, like,
event.
why
I
would
don't
you not
think so.
pre-order? Like,
Oh.
wouldn't it make sense? Like, aren't tickets cheaper if you buy them earlier? Like,
You think they let you like stay if you're gonna like watch the games? Like,
I don't
exactly.
know. I legitimately don't know.
I believe you. That
usually-
makes sense too.
Usually teams, when they lose, like, when they drop out of a tournament, they go
what
home.
are they gonna do? Go practice? They're a pug team. Like, that's their
Maybe they
whole
got-
bit.
Yeah, they're gonna get ready for the next season,
If
dude.
I was talking to if I was the year's quote unquote coach, right now, I'd be telling them to play as little as
I don't
possible
know if they
together
have a
to
coach.
maintain the
No, they
pug
don't.
mentality. I would
Huh.
say play as little as
Walker,
possible
you
to
want a
maintain
coach,
your
buddy?
pug
Yeah,
mentality.
I literally was in his DMs. Like, I was gonna write and be like, "Can I? You want to coach, bro? Like, I'm down, dude.
I've got a
I'll see-
passport. Yeah,
I'll suit up. I'll scream when you guys get kills, dude. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, dude.
I will be the Mac of your team.
Let's see that energy drink chug.
Yeah, exactly. Can do it.
Give myself
Oh,
a
that
heart
was a
attack real
legendary
quick.
moment.
Yeah, that was a
I was sitting
legendary
behind
moment.
Pipe and Drape for that, man. All of a sudden, you just hear, "Yes, sir!" echoing across the space. That was great.
So sick.
Ugh.
But I love your.
See
I'm
how
all
it
for
ends.
your, dude.
Yep. All about the year train. If they somehow do qualify for the major, it would be.
It's only 5 spots. Like I thought it was like
Yeah.
8 for some
No,
reason.
we
It's only
lost another.
5.
We used to have 6 spots, but we lost a spot
Lost
because of
one.
the last major.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is
So.
so sad.
And I mean, if you're looking
I'm
at
gonna
that
need
list
least,
too, like
5 likes for that one, man.
I mean, I feel like the obvious four to me is Furia, Liquid, Pain, Complexity, and then I guess Pain I guess can be up in the air, but I mean top 3 is easy. So I guess the 2
Fury is
spots
up
are.
in the air. What about Made in Brazil, dude? Like I think Made in Brazil.
No, that's what I mean.
Complexity.
Well, okay, I
Oof.
guess so.
Complexity. Let's be honest. Complexity. They look good right now, but last time they looked good going into it and then bombed out.
That's true.
But maybe they look better this time.
I want complexity stickers, okay? I want complexity
Yeah.
stickers, and more importantly,
So
I want
do
the
I.
stickers to actually look good this time.
I want
Yeah.
floppy
None of them-
stickers. I want Grim stickers. I want Halzerk stickers.
I just want lots
I
of
think better
stickers.
have a cool signature.
Oh yeah, Halzerk better have a mullet on the H.
I was gonna say that he better have
Ooh.
a mullet somewhere on that signature.
I like that idea.
That would be cool.
What else do we have? Like, who do you think's qualifying? Like, God, there's so many. Good
I mean,
teams
I
here.
think it's Furia, Liquid, Complexity, Pain, and probably
Detonate,
MIBR
Copium.
realistically.
I don't know. I think it's time for Detonate to rise.
I would love Detonate to qualify. I think that would be the greatest thing ever.
That would be so funny. That would be so funny. Going from like relegation tournament to qualifying for the major in half a year. That sounds like a Cinderella.
That'd be pretty.
story.
Detonate
That'd
are
be
going to make
unreal.
Legends at the major and bring a spot back to NA.
They get stickers.
Imagine Freshie being the savior of NA. That would
Freshie
be-
stickers.
Nate will buy so many of those. It's
I'll
gonna be
have a
disgusting.
storage
His
container
image.
full of only
Yeah, his-
Freshie
I
stickers.
was just gonna say the
Yeah.
container is just gonna be Freshie stickers. Just be like, bro, I got you.
Oh, but Freshie's
Maybe
been around.
maybe
for so
he'll use
long,
his
he
winnings
deserves it.
to buy Lego Star Wars because he promised to buy it 2 years ago and still has not bought it.
Not a man of his
Oh,
word.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he told me he'd buy it when he won ECL or won Advanced the first time. which was he got immediately got cut afterwards. That was like 4 or 5. That's not even 5. That was like 7 or 8 seasons ago. It was a long time ago. Oh well. Anything else we need to talk about?
I think we're good, man.
I think we got it all, man.
EG main bad, ECL recap, ATK roster mania.
EG management needs new management.
Nate, I don't like for people that are just listening to the audio, just so you're aware, like Pineapple or Nate was reading his list of items on the tiniest piece of freaking paper I've ever seen. Like the tiny little like sticky paper. Look at what he's just like, yeah, good old like he doesn't use a normal piece of paper.
I like doing stuff with my hands. I ripped it apart.
It's like a square inch.
Yeah, like
I ripped it apart. It is a square inch. I ripped it apart. I ripped it into fourths, and then I don't know if you noticed the last episode as well. I was fiddling with something. I just like doing stuff with my hands when I'm talking.
I do that all the time. I get it.
I usually just move my hands and do things.
Yeah, but we're on camera, and I want to look as normal as possible.
We don't have to be normal.
Moving when I'm talking is okay.
It's a free space, dude. You can do whatever you want, man.
Yeah.
You be you, man.
Yeah, I should like take this mic off. Give me some extra string, and then just pace around the room with it.
Dude, my favorite was just seeing Boggs just like explode. I don't think I've ever seen him explode like that before.
I was waiting for it.
I knew he was like frustrated, but I didn't know like to the point.
He's been frustrated for so long.
I've been frustrated for over a year with this team.
I was gonna say he was frustrated since it happened. He was like, EG are going to take all, like, honestly, that's what I said too. EG are going to take the goodwill and the desperation of an NA and then just use it for all the copium points they can get. And that's exactly what they did. I
called that they were gonna ruin EG White because they're never gonna get game time.
Yeah, we did say like signing 3 rosters. Everybody was so hyped on 3 rosters since the outset. Boggs was like, 3 rosters is such a stupid idea.
It is. It is a stupid idea because look what happened. Idea. You can only play in so many tournaments. Look at EG White. Like they never play anymore. Like what did they gain?
They're supposed to play in EU and they're not even in EU.
No. They were supposed to get tournaments in EU. They went to EU once, maybe? Twice.
They actually looked okay. It looked okay.
Yeah. Because they weren't a bad team when they got picked up. They were good. They were solid. Yeah, they were older players, but they were looking good. And now they've just been rusting away on a bench. They come out for qualifiers. That's it.
Makes no sense, man.
So sad.
And like, man, imagine what Ponalone could have done on the international stage if they'd kept up that pace, that momentum.
Dude, he's the best, dude. He's a boomer.
We need good oppers, Ponalone. We need IGLs, Ben Leet. Right there.
I was
for Wiz, dude. For Wiz.
Look, I'm wearing the hat, dude. Like I was amped for them. Like I was excited for them. Like when they got signed, I was like, this is amazing. This is what I wanted for you guys for a long time. You know, a paid team, they can have some resources behind them, and then now it's just like, nope. It's gone.
We're gonna get pineapple ranching. We could talk about, you know, having the hat. But I would have a hat, but I couldn't get it because of limited stocks. And that's all I'm gonna look at, okay? Because that will get me on another tangent.
Nate's still mad about that.
I'm still so angry about that.
I can't believe you didn't get a hat.
A whole podcast about limited run products being a scam.
Dude, I live in Canada and I got a bit fat than you. Like that doesn't even make sense.
Okay, if you are raising money for a team that's free agent, why is it limited? That's all I'm gonna say.
True.
Why is it limited?
I don't know, dude.
You have to have something that's unlimited so that everybody can support if they want to support. That's where I'm gonna leave it. But limited run products, if you're trying to fundraise, you're doing it wrong. Doing it wrong.
I agree.
We should make our own esports. Or wait, I forgot. Esports is dead.
Let's just make our own Olympic team, dude. We'll just have
Let's make our own tennis clash Olympic team.
Dude, I'm ready. Let's get the practice going. I'm down.
Let's go triple.
I'm so committed right now. Like, I'm gonna just become I'm gonna say I'm an Olympian,
like a
dude.
Doubles team and two singles.
What about dude? You know, what'd be a cool Olympic sport? Like paintball.
Paintball would be great.
That would be badass. That would be cool.
But for the same reason that they would never have an FPS game as an Olympic esport, they would never do paintball.
If they called paintball an esport, I would actually be happy right now. That would be so funny. If paintball was included on that announcement, I would have been happy. I'd be like, that's so cool. Oh, God.
No, I got it. Minecraft Spleef.
Speed runs.
All right, you gotta cut this crap.
Dream on the stage, dude.
This is how we know we've hit the end of us. Oh gosh.
It's been live for too long, like an hour and a half or something like that. Almost an hour and a half. Hour 15. Yeah, it's still a long episode. We've we've meandered a lot too. We've gotten to the nitty gritty of Pro League.
Dude, it's been like 2
limited
months.
run products.
Yeah.
It's been a long time for the boys. It's been a long time.
Rant, which actually released a lot of pressure, like a lot of stress.
Your rant was like 5 minutes. It was not locked at all. Like,
Yeah, it was good.
I feel very, very relaxed now. Like that was cathartic.
Yeah,
It was good.
I'm glad
I
to hear
feel
it.
better. I'm glad to hear it too.
I'm just waiting for the EG subtweets to hit, and then I'll be
EG Black
like,
announced
okay,
map 3 in Mirage, dude. They're playing the Pug
I thought you were
maps.
gonna say EG announced George and Junior to main roster.
That'd be cool.
Would
Pretty
be
cool.
pretty unreal.
Maybe they would have qualified for the major. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Anyways, though, I think we should wrap it up and before we get ourselves into more trouble than we're already going to be in for saying the truth. Anyways.
if anybody narcs on us, and one of our 13 viewers, I did count for the last episode. Thank you very much.
Woo-wee. Yeah,
Hey,
we do
still have,
appreciate it.
We have like 8 or 9 on podcast platform too. So
Hey, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
We definitely
9
appreciate
plus
it.
13. If one of our 22 viewers narcs to EJ, we will find you. Okay, there's not a lot of you. There's not a lot of you. Okay, and I guarantee
do a
one of those is my mom or my dad. Okay,
Listen, I'll do a shoey on air. I don't care.
There's not a lot of you, and we will find you. Okay.
Listen, I hope they narco CG. I don't care, dude.
Yeah,
I'll do a
plug the
shoey next
podcast.
time.
Just make sure you plug the podcast.
Make sure you send them the episode and like embed it like 5 minutes before, so the view does count. Because
There you go.
we need them. Yes,
We definitely need them.
Ugh.
We do appreciate you watching and listening.
Yes. Thanks for listening, guys. Please do like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Subscribe and give us a 5-star review on your podcast platform of choice. And stick around for the next episode of We Three Kings, which probably be a little bit quicker because ECL is going to wrap things up. Playoffs are going to be over and done with. And, well, Counter-Strike is back in full swing. So, guys, it's been fun. It's been good to get back in the saddle with y'all. But I think it's time for us to gallop off into the sunset, return to our respective castles, and get ready for the next one. Well, that was fun. We'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.
Bye-bye.